Whether you are on vacation in another state, another country, or whether or not you just got a VRBO and are just enjoying somebody else's pool, you can definitely take vacations without worrying about whether or not your sublimation ink is going to dry up. In this video, I'm going to show you how to give your printer an email address, and no matter where we are in the world, we can email our printer and keep the ink flowing. You are not going to want to miss this if you have been avoiding vacations. I will see you in the studio after the press and after this mini vacation. All right, guys, that is one of the most popular questions that we get at Quixby. How long can I let my printer sit without printing? Like if I go on vacation or if I have to go travel out of town, how long can I leave the printer before the ink starts to clog? And really the answer, unfortunately, is it depends. Here in this studio here, I can let my 2720 sit for at least 3 weeks without any issue. I come back and I do a nozzle check. Everything is perfect. But it is because it is a little humid here. It's a little warmer. And then I have other printers that I can't let them go a week without having an issue. So I am going to teach you that no matter where you are, as long as you have access to email, we are going to set your printer up through the Epson Connect service so that you can email your sublimation printer just something really little like this. All right, we're going to set up a black, magenta, a cyan, and a yellow little rectangle that wherever you are in the world, as long as you have internet connection, you are going to be able to print this little test page so that we can keep our ink flowing and just not have to worry about it. Now, believe me, this is very easy. It is not complicated at all. The biggest part is just getting set up through the Epson Connect service. I'm going to walk you through that, whether or not you have an account already with them or whether or not you don't. All right, I'm going to walk you through each step, and we are actually going to set up the email. I'm going to show you how to make these little rectangles in an email, and then this email will always be in your sent file. You don't have to recreate it every time. And throughout this video, I am going to share with you two things that I think are very, very important when you use this service. All right, so let's get started. The first thing is to make sure that we have an account with Epson. Here's how to do that. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do is go over to epsonconnect.com and hit enter. And this is just the splash page for Epson Connect. So when you set up your Epson printer, it is very likely that you gave them an email address and you already have an account. Maybe you didn't go through that process. Either way, I'll go through both phases. So this is like the first splash page for the Epson Connect print to your printer by email. And you can see right here, this is the feature that we are going to be dealing with here, email print. We are going to make an email so that we can always print to our printer from our cell phones or from, our laptop when we are on vacation, so we can keep our ink flowing. So what we're going to do, I would highly recommend here the first time you do it is to go to the user page down here, click go, and you're going to be brought to a login screen. Now, most of us through the driver and utility process did sign up with Epson somehow. So it's very likely that you have an email address with them. So go ahead and put that email in there. If you remember your password, that's even better. Just sign in to this program right here. But if you forgot the email or if you forgot the password, just type in your email, click forgot password, and you will know whether or not, because they will send you a link to reset your password. If that is the case with you, then go through the process of resetting your password. You're going to get an email, and then you'll be brought back to this screen like right here with a new password, and then you can reset your password. If you don't have an email address, or you get an error message after you type it in that they do not have this email on file, it'll just tell you that the email address is wrong. So I'm going to go back to EpsonConnect.com, and I'm going to go to the setup here, and we're going to register it from a computer. And it's going to tell you that you have to, you can read all this, but I'm going to zip through this, and you can pause the video and read all this if you would like to. But you're going to download this zip file here. One thing I do want to mention here right now before we even get started is your printer should be on and ready to be found when we go through this process, and put regular copy paper in there, because at the end of this setup, Epson is going to print something that welcomes you and gives you your printer email address, and there's no point in wasting a piece of sublimation paper for this purpose. So right now, make sure your printer is on, and we're going to load it with just some regular plain old copy paper. All right, and I'll just click on that link, and you'll see that it's going to download right here in the corner of my screen. I've already done it a few times. Then we are going to open up this file here, and we are going to execute it. And I'm going to go through the wizard. I'm going to accept the terms, definitely read those. And I'm going to go ahead and click install. I'll be back when this is done installing. The wizard has completed what it had to do, and I'm going to click finish. We are brought to this screen here, and it is searching for printers on my home network. If you are not on a network and you are connected via a USB cable and you were not plugged in during the time, you're going to have to plug that computer into your printer so that it can find it. But if you're on the network over Wi-Fi, it should just pop up right here. And here you can see my latest 2720 is not registered, and I'm just going to make sure I highlight that one in blue, and I'm going to click next. And on this screen, we are going to go through the registration process, and that is what is going to actually assign our printer an email address, which we can change, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So I'm just going to click next. It is sending an email address to my printer right now, to my actual device. So later on, I can actually go into the printer itself and go through the email screen, and it will say your printer's email address is, and it will be this really long, long email address, which is why I like to change it. And I'll show you how to do that. I know all the terms and conditions, but I would certainly recommend reading them if that concerns you. So here I have to create an Epson Connect account. So this is where you're going to type in an email address and a password. And this is not going to be your printer's email address. This is just your email address. And here we have, congratulations, Epson Connect is activated. Now I can hear my printer printing something, so I will go see what that is. Here my printer printed this out, which is why I told you to just make sure you load plain paper, because something is going to print out when it's all done. And I wish there was a way to stop that, but I haven't been able to figure that out. We are activated. All right, so let's close out of this. Now we can go back to the splash page at EpsonConnect.com, go to the user page section and click on go. And of course, we're going to have to log in. All right, yes, we did it. Right, now we are here. We have logged into the Epson Connect, and this is the first screen that you see. It's kind of like your dashboard, and it's the printer status. I'm going to go through a couple of these things here that I think are pretty important. So over here on the left-hand side, let's go to the printer email address. Now here is the current email address that I have been given, and you will be given one that's kind of like that as well. And you can keep it, if you want to just keep this address, you can keep it, or you can rename your email address. I kind of like to give it a name that I'm going to remember. And then I can just click apply. Now I'm going to restart my printer, which I have to do right now. So I just turned on and off my printer just to get it reestablished. And here we'll go into the notification settings. I like to be told when an error occurs. Other than that, I don't really want the junk in my email, so I'm just going to click apply. You guys do whatever you would like. And then let's go into the email and print. Right now we are enabled. If you ever wanted to just suspend and not have anything going to that printer, not have anything capable of it, just go ahead and click this suspend, and then nothing can be printed to the printer from an email. All right, so just that's where you would suspend the service. The approved sender list, I told you there were two very important things, and here is important thing number one, the approved senders list. When you come in here, I'm just going to zoom in on that a little bit. Now, the way this is set up originally is that anyone can send print jobs to this printer. And I like to say use approved sender list only, and that's always recommended from Epson as well. However, they do default it to anyone can print. So here is where you can add email addresses. If you have kids who you want to be able to email to the printer, go ahead and put their email address in here. Or if you just want to make sure that you have your work email or your personal email, go ahead and put those emails in here. Once you click this radial button here, only people who appear down here, it has to come from that email address in order to print. And that is a feature that I highly recommend so that you don't start getting anyone in the world printing to your printer. All right, and then let's come down here to print settings. I usually have it on my settings. I just really leave this alone up here because it does default to letter, and that's usually what I have loaded in there. And I do just make sure that I put copy paper in when I go away. In fact, I don't even keep sublimation paper in my printer. Like, I load sublimation paper as I print, just in case I print something by accident. So I always just have copy paper in the back of the 2720, and I load sublimation paper as I'm ready to print sublimation prints. And down here, these are up to you, your preferences. I don't really want to see the sender's information. I just like to make sure, of course, that we print the email body, because it's in the email body that we are going to be setting up some black, magenta, cyan, and yellow. We are going to make sure that that is in the email body, because that is what is going to keep our ink flowing while we are away. And then some other features down here, you can just go take a look at. The print log will tell you everybody who has ever printed. You have a lot of people that you are going to allow to print to this computer. You can give them access keys so that they have to punch it in. I don't do that, but you can do that there. And of course, the print log will tell you everything that has been printed. Now I have an email address, and I am ready to just add this as a contact in my email. And then we're going to set up the little black, yellow, magenta, cyan email that we are going to print from our cell phones or our laptops whenever we are away and we are worried about our ink clogging. And then, of course, we still have to talk about the one last thing you have to do to make sure that this works. All right, let's go do the email though right now. I am going to name it Keep the Ink flowing. And then I just do ink 1, ink 2, ink 3, ink 4, and then I highlight this, and I'm just highlighting with my cursor. And I'll come over here to this A, and I'm going to change the text color and the background color. So we're going to start with black. We're going to do black, and it's already a black text color. So there I printed a nice little block. Ink 2, let's do magenta. Again, we're going to do both the background color and the text color. And then ink 3, I'm going to highlight it, go to the A, let's do our cyan. And then ink 4 is, of course, our yellow. And I'm going to click the background color, and then I'm going to come back and click the yellow. I can't do them both at the same time, otherwise I would. So there we have 4 little blocks of ink that will keep our ink flowing while we are away. Just to show you that this works, now I am going to just send this to my printer. All right, guys, it worked. See that little print? We emailed our printer 4 little ink blocks to keep the ink flowing. Now, if you did not hear your printer go off after you sent a print to it, it's very possible that you got an error message asking you to confirm the paper size or the paper source. And I did a video about that, and I'm going to link it right here, right now, because if that happened to you before you go on vacation, you definitely have to turn that error message off, because that is a fail-safe while you're home. But when you go on vacation, you have to turn that error message off. Otherwise, it's just going to not print for you because it's waiting for you to press the confirm button, and you're not there to press the confirm button. So if you did not get the print and you walked over to your printer and it said confirm paper size or confirm paper source, definitely watch this video. I go through exactly how to turn that error message system completely off. And then send that email again, and then you should have this no problem. Now this email is forever in your sent file, in your Gmail account or Hotmail account or whatever you use. It will always be in your sent email, and anytime you want to send it, you just search for Keep the Ink Flowing and click resend. Easy as that. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I really hope that you take advantage of this incredible tool that Epson offers. Epson Connect is very powerful. I know we worry about our sublimation inks clogging. It might prevent you from going away, but that is history. No more. Go on vacation, go travel, and just know that you can email your sublimation printer a few blocks of color and keep that ink flowing. Remember, the very 2 important things are to make sure you authorize emails in your setup, in the account setup screen. You don't want anyone in the world to be able to print to your sublimation printer, so you want to authorize emails in that setup screen. And secondly, of course, you have to make sure that you turn off that error notice. If you're not sure how to turn the error messaging off, I did a video. I'll just link it right over here. It'll be the only thing I link there so that you can have easy access to it. It's a quick video, and it will show you how to turn off the error messaging system so that the email that you send while you're away does go through. If this video has helped you in any way, please turn that like button blue for us. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the Q right there. Upcoming video, we did go ahead and get that Cricut mug press here, and I'm going to talk about what I love about it and what I wish it had. Turn on notifications and you will get notified whenever we upload our next video about sublimation. All right, until then, guys, happy sublimating. Go on vacation. It's going to be okay. Until next time. Bye.